Andromeda 6, a sci-fi Otome game where you wake up on a ship with amnesia, and we finally got to meet the last love interest, Vex, which is the redhead. Yeah. I'm actually really excited. So, wait, do I have to do a recap? So there's the captain. Let me go back. There's the captain here. We met Bash, we met June. Bash is the engineer, June is, I don't know what he is. Damon is the second in command slash assassin. Ayame is the ship pilot. Riona is the medic, and then we're now getting into mine and Vex's backstory, because it's related. And in the last episode we got cut off where me and Vex, and spoiler, I'm the princess of some planet, and Vex is my bodyguard, which is, typical trope. But yes, he's my bodyguard, and we're like sneaking out of the palace, castle, whatever, to go to some party. Okay, let's actually get into it now. Vex squeezes my arm gently as we navigate through the dim passageway, and I can tell that he's excited, which calms me somehow. Oh, sorry, wait, let me start my 30-minute timer. Okay. We step out from the hole in the wall, taking care to remain unseen, and prepare ourselves for the masquerade that awaits us. 11. Oh, dang it, sorry. The memory ends suddenly, cut short by the sound of my name, spoken by a familiar voice, a voice from my past. Vex? My head feels heavy and I raise a hand to my scalp, pushing against the throb that settled beneath my skull. I remember a little. Bits and pieces become clearer the more I think about it, though there's only one thing I know for sure. Vex is here, and I remember him. 11. Princess, what are you doing here? The question stuns me for a moment, taking me off guard as memory after memory of the man in front of me rushed to the surface of my rushed to the surface of my mind, piecing together like a glass unbroken. Some memories remain blurred, mere fragments needing a little more time to come into focus. But others swim to the surface, desperate for air while they leave me breathless, struggling to stay afloat. You left me. Emotions hit me one after the other, relentless in their assault. Fear, confusion, anger. Vex, how could you? I meet the eyes of my old friend, expecting to find the kind emerald green gaze I had grown used to. But instead, I see nothing. Nothing but anger, bitterness, and spite. Dread snakes through my veins. Something is wrong. Something is different, and I can't quite figure out what. I thought you were dead. You were supposed to be... Vex stops, the muscles feathering in his jaw as it tightens, and he sets his unfeeling gaze on me. How did you escape? Escape? He thinks I escaped the attack on the palace? I remember now what truly happened. I remember my brother's wedding, how we were all at the palace that night, the perfect time for an enemy to strike. I left the reception early, planning on leaving the city to search for Vex, and now here he is, standing right in front of me. So much has happened since I last saw you. I was rescued by a crew of mercenaries. After being injured on Goldust, my memory of it was gone until now. Seeing you seems to have sparked something in my mind. You remembered because of me? I nod, finding it increasingly difficult to meet those cold eyes of his, the ones that were once filled with such warmth. What else do you remember? I remember... we were friends, or we were more than friends? I think we were in the middle of that. I think we were we were fooling around with each other, kind of like flirting. And I still can't choose which route I'm gonna go to. But I love Vex, so it might be Vex. We were more than friends. We were inseparable. My throat tightens and I know what I have to say. I have to tell him the truth, even if it is too late. You looked at me in a way that no one else ever had, and I liked the way that made me feel. He takes a step closer, hand raised as he brushes a knuckle over the side of my face so gently. How did it make you feel? Like I was yours and you were mine, like nothing could stop us from living the life we dreamed of, from exploring all the places we said we could. His mouth twitches, as if holding himself back from something he wants to say. I remember what happened that day, the day of the attack. You left. Weeks went by and no one would tell me why or where you had gone. My chest caves at the memories of being told to sit up, shut up, and do my duty, all while my only friend in the whole world was gone. I ran away. I was desperate for answers. I came looking for you, though I didn't make it very far before. On the last word, my voice cracks, and I will the tears that threaten to spill to stay where they are. Why did you leave? Vex stares me down, his eyes cold and unflinching, and I don't understand any of it. I wasn't your friend. I didn't care about you, not even when they told me they were storming the palace and exterminating the royal line. What? You what? I was using you, 11. He laughs, but it's a bitter sound, devoid of any warmth. You were so naive, you had no idea. All you wanted was a friend. I don't believe you. We were friends. You would think that, wouldn't you? You spoiled little brat. What would you have me tell you, princess? Do you want me to say I missed you? That I thought of you every day and wondered if you'd ever get to see those places we talked about? Wondered if someone better would take you there? That's very specific for somebody who doesn't care about me, sir. I didn't miss you. Sounds like denial to me. I didn't think of you even for 1 second. Slap him? Oh. Say nothing? You're lying? Oh, that's so hurtful. I feel like I would want to slap him, but I don't have the guts to. I'd probably just say, you're lying. That's not true. You're lying. You think so? Then you're stupider than I thought. Oh, Vex, don't be mean. It doesn't matter either way. You're right. It doesn't matter. Something shatters inside me. Some remnant of the past that had rushed back to the surface only to crumble like dust in my hands. All those times you would sneak out of the palace just to get away. The passages you showed me. That was exactly what I needed to know. And when I took that information to Zovek, he knew exactly where and how to strike. No, it can't be true. If it is, that means it's my fault. If you know what's good for you, you'll stay far away from the Andromeda 6 and her crew. They know too much. Far too much. And they'll be dealt with soon enough. For somebody who doesn't care about me, he sure is caring about me by telling me to stay away from Andromeda 6 because they're gonna get into trouble. Forget who you were, 11. That person doesn't exist anymore. If you're lucky, you'll never see me again. Oh, so dramatic. Oh my gosh. He turns to leave, stopping for the briefest of moments to say from over his shoulder, I'm not sorry for what happened, but I am sorry for Nerissa. She might have made a good queen, but we couldn't wait long enough to find out. He backs into the shadows, one foot behind the other, and I can't stop myself from reaching for him. He can't leave. Not now. I need to know more. Nerissa. Something sharp stabs through my chest, a pain so fierce I can barely keep myself on my feet. Nerissa, my eldest sister, and heir to the Pegasi throne. Vex was the only one who ever smiled at me except for Nerissa. 11! Footsteps echo through the darkness, but my mind has trouble processing the presence. Nerissa, she was going to be queen. She hated our father, but she loved me, and now she's gone. 11, what the hell are you doing out here? Didn't I tell you to stay in the club? The captain's voice rumbles right past me. Are you even listening to me? Stop, Calderon. Bash shoulders past the captain, but I see nothing but shadows and shapes dancing behind the tears filling my eyes. Can't you see she's upset? Calderon huffs a breath while cold metal fingers take me by the arm and help me stay upright. Are you hurt? I shake my head, unable to speak, and Bash lets out a relieved breath. Let's take her back to the ship. This isn't the kind of place we should hang about. Damon, do a sweep of the area. Make sure there's nothing out of the ordinary. I don't see it when Damon sinks back into the shadows, as quiet as mist. But I feel when Bash gently takes me by the arm and guides me in the direction of the ship. Calderon, walking up ahead of us. Bash leads me through the crowded streets of the city, and I'm glad for it because my mind is elsewhere, lost in memories of the past. I feel like I chose the wrong response for Vex. Before I know it, we're in front of the A6, ascending the loading ramp to the docks. 3 heads snap up when we enter, and immediately Riona is on her feet and coming toward us. What happened? I'm not sure exactly. Bash moves away to give me space, though all 5 of them continue to look at me, waiting for answers until Calderon cuts in. You shouldn't have left the club. You have no idea how dangerous the city can be for someone alone. I'm sorry, I didn't think. Yeah, that seems to happen a lot, doesn't it? Cut it out, Calderon. The last thing we need right now is your bad temper. Calderon opens his mouth to speak, though stops himself at the sight of Riona's glare. Fine. See, I'm disliking Calderon more and more. If his story wasn't so good to me, like, I would have never. Throwing his arms up and in frustration, he backs off and leans against the far wall, a sour expression twisting his features. Riona comes over, putting a hand on Bash's arm to make sure he's alright, before turning to me. Are you okay? When you didn't come back, I was so worried about you. She lowers her voice and leans closer, glancing at Calderon before fixing her bright yellow eyes on me. He may have said it the wrong way, but he's right. Las Vegas is a dangerous place. I'm fine versus I'm sorry for worrying. I think I should say I'm sorry for worrying, because I clearly don't look fine. I'm sorry I just disappeared. I should have said something. I think back on meeting Vex in the alleyway, on the things he had said to me. I had been such a fool to think that I might have meant something to him. Shaking my head to clear the thought, I decide it's best not to dwell on it now, especially not with so many eyes on me. I didn't mean to worry you. I'm just glad you're alright. I smile at Riona gratefully. It's nice to have someone worry about me for once. I've never had many people like that in my life before. For somebody who does not remember like 90% of my life, how would I know that? I take in a lungful of air, steadying my breath as I scan the room. One look at the pilot sitting with her arm cradled against her stomach brings the memory of the night crashing back on me in a wave of guilt. Aya, is your hand alright? Aya grins at me, as chipper as ever. I imagine it'd take a lot more than a broken hand to slow this girl down. A little sore, but it'll be fine by morning. Doc's amazing at her job, and having all the right equipment on the ship doesn't hurt either. I smile at her in return, glad to hear she's okay, even with my failure to bring back the ice for her hand. Damon! Oh my gosh. When I follow Riona's gaze to see Damon entering the bridge, fresh scarlet blood splattered over his face and the front of his clothes. What happened? Riona rushes forward to help Damon. Simply holds a bloodied gloved hand up in front of her. What? A bloodied gloved hand up in front of him to stop her. We were followed. The blood isn't mine. God damn it. My gaze darts between the captain and his second in command, as does the rest of the crews. Followed? How? Damon shrugs, his cold eyes pinned on Calderon in a way that sends a shiver down my spine. Yeah, those two definitely banged. Ask the commander over there. Surely he knows how a guardship is capable of finding us. A collective murmur goes through the room and I swallow around the lump in my throat. More concerning than the fact of being followed is the splattering of blood on Damon's clothes. The blood couldn't have come from Vex, could it? Guardship? What's going on? They must have put a tracker on us. Calderon's voice is quiet and I get the impression that more than anything he's angry at himself. Damon shakes his head and scoffs. You didn't think to check. I was a little preoccupied with the great bloody hole in my ship and the stray that June brought aboard. Oh, I totally forgot about June. I'm gonna keep quiet. This is kinda tense. I don't want to rock the boat or rock the ship. My face begins heating and I open my mouth. To say what? I don't know, so I say nothing instead. There's no need for that. I'm the one who made the decision to bring her on board, so if you want to be mad at someone, let it be me. I'm not mad at anyone, I'm just... A growl tears from Calderon's throat as he kicks over a stack of metal boxes, completely losing its cool. How did things get so fucked up? Things were always fucked up, Cal. We just never learned how to deal with it. The captain waves a dismissive hand at us all, before pinching the bridge of his nose and taking in a deep breath to calm himself. What's done is done. We'll check in with Oppo about getting us CD. The cloaking device isn't going to do shit if they already know we're here. And how the hell do you expect to get the money for that anyway? Bash helps Damon find an old rag, leaving him to wipe the blood from his face and clothes while the captain growls at him. How we always get that money, Damon. We're mercenaries, unless you've managed to forget. You know just as well as I do that we don't have the time for that. What else do you propose we do? Aya gives him a helpless shrug, her glare burning straight through him, and I take the opportunity to speak up before Calderon can enrage anyone further. There might be another way. 6 pairs of eyes follow me, and I hesitate. It's not ideal what I'm about to propose, but I value our lives far more than some old trinket. Well, if you have an idea, then spit it out. Taking in a deep, shaky breath, I meet his eyes. We can sell my music box. It's made from cataphanite, right? Surely it's enough to buy the part you need, and then some. No, absolutely not. 11, you can't just sell off the only link you have to your past. I look at no one but the captain, gauging his response. Finally, upon making a decision, he lets out a sigh. I agree. It's not something any of us would ask you to do. You're not asking, I'm offering, and besides, it's not my only link to the past. June steps forward, his eyebrows dipping in clear confusion. What do you mean? Oh... Tell them about Vex or don't tell them about Vex. I'm an honest person at heart, so I always like telling the truth. And I'm honest to a fault, so if that messes up my route for Vex, then... The reason I left the club was because I saw someone from my past, a member of the Royal Guard. Royal Guard? I don't understand. What was someone from the RG doing here? My voice shakes, thinking back on the confrontation with Vex in the alley, and everything he had told me. I don't dare tell them that he had lied to me for over a year, pretending to be my friend while gathering intel for the man who murdered my family. I think I did choose the wrong option for Vex. After this gameplay, I'm gonna go back to the save and do a different option to see what his response would have been and if I'm right in thinking so. I might actually do it after this 30-minute playthrough, so we'll see. I definitely don't tell them, but like whatever I chose, I'm not gonna change. It's you know, I gotta keep going. Keep going. I definitely don't tell him that because of my own naivety. I played right into the palm of his hand and gave him everything. When I saw him, I started to remember. I remember that he was the guard who was assigned to me because Calderon swears under his breath, and when his eyes lock on mine, I know he's the only one who's figured out what I'm trying to say. Yeah, because he sort of mentioned it. Go on, tell them. With a deep breath, I compose myself, taking the opportunity to look between the crew before things between us are changed forever. My name is 11 Pegasi, and I'm the youngest child of King Fenris and the Lunar Queen, Nicole. Faces in front of me are a mix of horror, confusion. I gotta screenshot this. You gotta make this my thumbnail. Cha-ching. Okay. And my stomach drops, knowing the weight of the bomb I've dropped on every single one of them. Look at Calderon's face, bro. And Bash is just looking at. Who is Bash looking at? Shit. Well, this changes things. This changes everything. Dame is the one who approaches first, the hard set of gaze, a perfect contradiction to the grin that tilts his lips. He studies me for a moment, seeing me through new eyes before he turns back to the crew. Don't you see? If we turn over the little princess to Zobak, it could be just enough to wipe his bounty on us from the record. I do nothing but stare at him in disbelief, my heart pounding in my ears like a drum. What did he just say? At least 2 shots of rage come from the group. The Damon only smiles wider, his teeth glinting under the fluorescent lights. You've gone too far, Damon. Oh! Vash has his eyes red. 11 is one of us. We're not just going to hand her over to her family's murderer. Agreed, and I will kick your ass if another word of it comes out of your mouth. My eyes catch June's for the briefest moment, but he looks away just as quickly, fixing Damon with a hard stare. Interesting. Does it change who comes to my side depending on like who I've been like raising affection? Because I don't remember like raising affection towards Bash or really Ayame. Maybe? I don't know. Damon snorts at Aya's threat, rolling his eyes as if he couldn't care less. Then he steps toward the captain, his face blocked from my view and his voice low and calculated. Cal, I know you agree with me on this. Cal looks past Damon, those cold eyes fixing me to the spot, though I harden myself and stand my ground. And then he shakes his head at his second in command, his voice rough, leaving no room for debate. It's not an option. Damon clicks his tongue in disappointment and backs off, hands held in front of him in defeat. Alright, have it your way, but don't go crucifying me for saying what you're all thinking. It's very true, I bet they're all actually thinking that. He slinks away like an angry cat, every pair of eyes on him as if he might snatch me away until he disappears up the stairs and out of sight. He's like, I'm done with this, like you guys deal with it. Once gone, Calderon lets out a tired sigh. I think we should call it a night. It's been a long day, and there's much we'll need to discuss tomorrow. I might not even get with anyone, because I haven't been pursuing anyone, like, singularly. June spares me not a single glance as he heads off with the others, and my stomach drops at the sight. No, June! Even my baby boy is abandoning me. I want to speak to him about all of this more than anything, but I have to agree with Calderon that it's best to wait until tomorrow. 11. I need to speak with you. With a nod, I follow the captain up the bridge, falling behind and losing myself in my thoughts. We walk in silence, but I don't mind it. My head is reeling, and I have to mentally prepare myself for the conversation to come. When Calderon stops, he turns to face me, but the anger is drained from him. Instead, he seems concerned, an emotion I'm not used to seeing on him. How are you feeling? The question both relieves and takes me off guard at the same time, and with the way he's looking at me, I know that things have changed. Things that haven't always been easy between the captain and I. Things haven't always been easy between the captain and I, but despite that, I'm glad he asked, and he stood up for me against Damon after all. Did this happen? Like, I'm going to fall apart at any moment. Like, I don't want to think about any of it. Like, I have some tough decisions to make. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a baby girl. I'm not strong. I am more of a, like, I don't want to think about any of it, but that's like an internal thought to me. I don't say that to other people. So I'm gonna be emotional because I am an emotional girl. Like, I'm going to fall apart at any moment. There's this weight on my chest that just keeps growing, and honestly, I don't know how much longer I can keep it together. Calderon nods, and I know he understands. Perhaps it's something he's even felt before. It's a lot to take in. Don't feel like you have to hold it together on account of any of us. Why is he so nice all of a sudden? I hate that I have to be a princess for him to have changed his, like, attitude towards me. Too many emotions cascade through me. I swallow hard, biting down on my lip when the tears sting at my eyes, threatening to fall. I can't believe they're gone. Every single one of them. It's barbaric. Calderon drops his head, letting out a long breath before he looks at me again, his face anguished. He doesn't look very anguishy. He looks like he's blushing. I owe you an apology. Now? You couldn't be a decent human being before? He drags a thumb across his bottom lip, and I can see this isn't easy for him. I'm sorry for what I said that first day you came aboard. You don't have to. No, I do. The captain fixes me with a hard stare, and I close my mouth, content to listen. I have to say it. I have no excuse for how I acted. I just need you to know that I'm sorry for all of it. It took if this never had happened, like this whole situation, like I'm the princess, Calderon wouldn't even be doing this shit. This is why, like, I like Calderon later on because he becomes nicer to me, but the fact that, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Thank you, you'll have to do better than that, hug him. Okay, here's my thought process. And I already mentioned this multiple times. I like Calderon as a story element. His storyline, I love a ton. Person-wise, I love Juno or June. I forgot his name. June or Juno. And like just like a personal preference in terms of story and character, I love Vex. So, I don't know. I'll flirt with Calderon, and if I can't get with Vex, I'll go with Calderon. I don't know how this system works because, like, the Otome game system, I don't know how because I don't know if yeah, I'm just gonna flirt because I have been flirting sort of with Calderon, so I'm just gonna you'll have to do better than that. I'm afraid I'll need more than that, Captain Lynch. Get on your... Oh, I didn't expect me to say this. Getting on your knees would be a good start. I smile at Calderon, making the joke clear, and he rolls his eyes, a grin tilting his lips. That's okay, so some other... Okay. So you're the insufferable type of princess, then. With a soft laugh, I step closer, and when he doesn't move, I'm gonna be honest, this is hard for me to say out loud. You hear my voice trembling? I trail my fingers over his arm, reveling in the strength and warmth of his body, of a presence that's becoming more and more familiar. I'm glad that he doesn't back away, even after finding out the truth of who I am. If anything, he came closer to me because he knew who I was. I couldn't bear it if he did. I accept your apology, Calderon. I know you were only being cautious. He lets out a breath, his warm fingers slipping beneath my chin to tilt my face toward his. Yet somehow you have a way of bringing my guard down. Press X to doubt. I let myself melt into his touch, aware of every breath, every movement. Good, because I like what I see behind it. Damn, I'm so smooth. I could never. In-game me, so smooth. Me, never. Calderon smells, but his face drops as soon as some hidden memory surfaces, and he hesitates a moment before speaking again. I want Vex. Don't worry, guys, I'm gonna go back to see if my theory is true. I knew your brother, Prince Soren. We trained for the guard together, and we were friends for a time, before we were dispatched to different districts. I freeze, letting the words sink in. I had no idea the two of them even knew each other. And now that I know, I can't tell how it makes me feel. It kind of sucks. This is off topic. I'm sorry. This is probably like important to you guys because this is the first playthrough probably, but it makes me sad that Bash doesn't have like a really strong backstory, like a strong, like, I don't know. To me, his story was so lacking, and I wish it had more connections with the plot itself. Like Calderon has a connection to me, June has a connection, technically, like there's a plot line with me and him, and Vex, clearly he has a connection to me, but like Bash, his plot when I did his route was so, I don't know, it didn't seem as thorough as the other characters, and I just kind of, because I love Bash's like characterization of being the goofy dude, and I feel like they could have done so much with that. And even Damon technically doesn't have a connection to my like life plot thingy, but his was so thorough. Like his route, if you do it, is very thorough, and Bash was just like, yeah, he exists, he's a love interest. And I don't know, that was just kind of, now that I think about it, it's just like, that kind of sucks. Anyway, sorry. He was a good man. He didn't deserve what happened to him. None of your family did, except my dad, clearly. It was his wedding, the night of the attack. I remember it now. Wow, that sucks. My voice shakes when I speak, the past hanging over me like a thundercloud ready to explode. We weren't close, but I never wanted this. I never wanted to see any of them get hurt like this. My breath sticks in my throat, and for a moment I have trouble getting air to the lungs that squeeze and tighten in my chest. People hated my father. Does that mean he deserved to die? I shake my head. I don't know. If he was like a dictator or something, you know? That's not what I meant at all, but I certainly don't wonder why people wanted him gone. I heard what the people said when I would sneak into the city. They said he was narcissistic, that he was leaving the people to suffer while our family drank from golden goblets, and ate off silver plates. My brothers and sisters were content to live a life of privilege, either too ignorant, scared to do anything else, but Nerissa, the heir to the throne, she loved the people. She tried to change our father's mind on so many things, but he would never listen. I felt so powerless. I didn't know what to do, so I did nothing. I'm just as bad as he was. No, wanting to do something about it, that's the first step. For me, it was the only step. I'd rather not talk about it anymore. That's kind of, some of these options are kind of like, I get it. You can either cut the conversation or continue it, but like, I'd rather not talk about it anymore. Bye-bye. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say for me, it was the only step. Well, in that case, it was the only step I ever made. I never had a chance to do more. And if what Vex said is true, then if anything, I went backwards. Calderon gives me what might be considered a soft look, if anything about him was soft at all. His chest probably is. Sorry. When I graduated from my training in the Guard, I was top of my squadron. Oh my god, it's already been 30 minutes. That's crazy. Let me finish saying this, and then we're gonna do my Vex thingy. Okay, when I graduated from my training in the Guard, I was top of my squadron. I could have picked any posting I wanted, but I chose to be stationed in the worst sector of Bronze District. Do you know why? Until next time! We will find out in the next episode of... Oh, wow. Episode 3. So rough night, eh? Okay. We're gonna load... We're gonna load, the last save. And then I'm gonna choose the option that I think I was supposed to choose for a better, response? I think it was the say nothing. Let's try that. Okay, we're doing say nothing. I don't usually do this, and usually I wouldn't record this because I kind of like when I just do one straight playthrough of a route, but I don't know. So I'm gonna do say nothing. Something shatters inside me. Some remnant of the past had rushed back to the surface, only to crumble like dust in my hands. All those times we would sneak out of the palace just to get away. The passages you showed me, that was exactly what I need to know. Oh, and when I took that information to Zovak, he knew exactly where and how to strike? No, can't be true. If it is, that means it's my fault. Okay, nothing changed. I was wrong for that. Okay. Okay, let's try the slap option. Does anything happen if I do the slap option? Does... Come on, guys, we can do this. Slap him. My hand whips across the side of his face, the resounding slap echoing through the alley around us. Vex barely moves for a good few moments, barely even flinches. Then he lunges forward and grabs me by the wrist, pulling me toward him as he hisses at me. Try that again and see how far it gets you. I struggle to free myself from his grasp, pulling against him, but it's no use. Vex, stop, you're hurting me. He stares me down, and I'm desperate to know what's going through that mind of his. But when he finally lets me go, all I can do is glare at him darkly. Oh. Maybe I'm mixing this scene that I had in my head with some other portion of the route. I don't think I mind the option I chose this time. But the issue is, I wonder, I really, like, can I fail a route if I've been romancing somebody else? Because I've been romancing, like, literally June, Calderon, Bash. Heck, I even did some good options with Ayame. I don't think I did anything for Rihanna. I don't know. I hope it's not messing up the route. Cause if I get a bad route, like I did in my other game that I did, what was it? Like Killer Chat. If I get a bad route, I'm not gonna do anything because what am I gonna do? Replay the game? Oh no, you're threatening me with another fun couple hours? Yeah. I would be so happy to replay and get a good ending. I love playing this game. Okay. Well, that's everything. It's thanks for watching. If you're interested in playing it yourself, it's on itch.io. Technically it's free, of course. You can always choose to support the creators and pay what you want. I'll put the link in the description. I don't have the advanced features yet, so it's not gonna be a hyperlink, but you can just like copy and paste it, I think. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye bye.